I love this. We are live with the Anthony Murray Talks every Wednesday night at 7:30. Do this for me, please. Click the link below, like and share. Here we go. Man, I want to talk to you about giving. And I know I said man, but I don't mean no disrespect. I just get a chance to talk like I like to talk with the Anthony Murray Talks. Let me talk about money. You know what I learned? That money opened doors that shut for a lot of people. I'm gonna start off when I was raised to give, so I got a little bit of an advantage because my dad, being a pastor, raised us to give. He raised us to give. So check this out. I learned some stuff about giving. One thing I learned about the power of the 20. You'll be shocked at what giving to people do. I remember when somebody taught me the power of the 20. I was like, what does that mean? He said, you know what? I think we was at some nice hotel, some expensive hotel, and I was just learning. He was like, watch this. I'm gonna give the valet dude $20, and I ain't gonna have to wait on my car. They're gonna give me preferential treatment. So what I want you to do is I want you to pull up behind me and you get him a 22. I'm like, man, $20 back then. This is my mindset. $20? 20 whole dollars? He was like, yo, when you get this $20, watch how they react. When I gave this man $20, he gave me $200 worth of service. I promise you, $200 worth of service. And from here on out, I got friends, all kind of places I go. And it's not that we friends, but when they see me, I get preferential treatment because they know every time they see me pull up, I'm going to have some money for them. I learned that money answers all things and money give you power, right? But it's terrible. I'm finna say the wrong thing when you don't have no money. So I didn't have no money. And I had to learn how to produce. So number one, you got to study money. You got to study how money works. It's called currency. It flows. Money is designed to go in one hand and out of another hand. I like looking at my money. I like looking at my $20. I want to look at my $20. I want to see that I got $20. But $20 to look at don't do what $20 does when I sow it, or I invest it, or I give it. I say this sometimes, often. I give because I have. I have because I give. And therefore, I always be blessed. I learned that in church. And I learned that this is the system that works outside of church. Man, I remember talking to dudes in the street, dope boys, and people like that. I went to school with a lot of these cats. And I was like, how in the world are y'all making this money? You shouldn't be selling drugs, but how did you just get in the game and you get money like this? He said, they used to call me Ant. They was like, Ant. What I did is I went in the hood and I gave dope out for free. He said, man, we went in the hood and gave $1,000 worth of dope out. Why would you do that? He says, because so many customers gonna come when they got it free. They beat the other guys on the corner by giving. Forget the drugs, because we don't want that. Publix, grocery stores. Have you ever been to Costco, Publix, Walmart, or some of these places? I grew up Kmart. I don't know about y'all. Kmart was the blue light special. You know why I used to like to go to Kmart and Kroger back then? Kroger's. I don't know what grocery store you got where you are, but they gave them free samples. They would give them free samples, and they would let me taste it. And mama would buy. They knew to give it to me as a kid, and my mama was going to buy the whole thing. I'm sitting here saying they got $100 worth of samples, giving them, but made $1,000 worth of product. You see where I'm going, right? So I started learning this money thing. I started learning it ain't just church. It worked everywhere. And I learned people that's got a fixed mindset on giving always be having money. And people that have a fixed mindset on holding always be struggling. It's crazy. It's got to be supernatural. I'm going to tell you. I remember when I started my construction company before, like in '06, I was doing basements, home theaters. I was knocking on doors, right? I didn't know what I was doing, but I was giving me customers, and I knew what I was going to do. I would go in there and say, I'm going to throw in a free towel for your shower. I know that sounds like a lot, but it used to cost me $300. It used to cost me $300 to buy 50-cent towel, right? I needed about $100 worth of towel and $200 to get a guy to towel. It cost me $300. Guess what? I said, I want to give you a towel shower. Give me this opportunity. I'm gonna do a great with your job. And guess what I want to throw in for you? If you sign this, I want to give you. I said, I use words like this. I said, It was true. Hold on, let me get it. That was true. I said, I said, your bathroom is going to be like a spa. It's going to be a spa when you go. Can you imagine your wife going down into the theater and they going into the spa? And what I'm going to do, if you choose from these towels, I'm going to do it for free. I'll never forget. I can't say her name because you may know her. This lady signed it and gave me my first $45,000 basement deal. I'll never forget, I made $8,000 in 2 weeks for myself after paying everybody from $300. It was the gift. It was the seed. Everything starts with a seed. You want to know another story? I remember starting my church. Y'all know I got a church. I'm Pastor Anthony. I remember I saved up $2,000. We was in the lunchroom in the back of Hiram High School, a high school in a freshman cafeteria, right? So I remember the offering $300, $900, $800. I don't even know how we paid it, but I'm a saver. I do. I give because I have because I give, and I'm blessed, so I save too. So I saved the money, and I'll never forget, I drove down to a bishop's church before I got my voice. And I said, if God can do this for your ministry and your people, he could do it for me. I saved up $2,000. I took a $1K because I had been hearing pastors preach, and it seemed like it was, be honest, it sounded a little fugazi. Pastor talking about $1K seed. I said, but you know me, if you don't. Now, when it comes to sowing and investing, I'm going to try it. I kept hearing this $1K, $1,000 seed. I heard a preacher say this. He said, the $1,000 seed break the back of lack. I was so broke. All I had was $2K. What was I going to lose? Let me tell you why I like giving. I'm telling you, I made a decision. I said, I can spend this $2,000 on something that I need to pay. Or I can make it a seed. Whoa! I can pay the due bill. I ain't telling you what to do. I'm telling you what I did. I see every man come to a place in his life, and every woman do too, where you have to make a decision for you. You got to be selfish. You got to make a selfish decision for you. And I said, I'm going to believe. And I took $1,000 of the $2,000 and I sold it. And after that, I can trace that seed back to things blowing up. I went from that to wondering, am I going to finance a car or pay cash for a car? All because I can't even tell you. Listen, giving make me feel good, and it turned me on because I can't even tell you how, and I quit trying, how a lot of this stuff happened or when it was going to happen. But I can tell you how. I can trace it back to the seed. And then I started giving, and God started blessing, and things started happening, and people started being attracted to me. My business started making money. Watch this. The client that I gave the towel to, I'll never forget it. He worked for Homeland Security. I couldn't believe it. I had to drive away an hour and a half away to get this job. Guess what? He wrote the check. It was a lady who wrote the check. Then she told a guy, I had to drive way out. He worked for Homeland Security and got his job. It was $45,000. I gave him a towel shower. He wanted a sauna in his, anyway. I didn't even know. Listen, I was in positions because of my seed. Of being around people that I had no idea people even live like this. Back then, I was like, people be having their own saunas and spas in their basement. I remember back then, I was like, people got 50 and 60,000 and 40 grand to do leisure work in the basement. Oh, the seed did that. I can tell you so many. So you see me smile and light up because I love to give. Giving open doors for me. You can say what you want. People already know now. When I go certain places, it's not that I'm so wonderful. It's the seed. It's the seed. I almost jumped out this chair. You saw me? It's not that they love me so much. They love the seed produced the service. See, when you give, that $1,000 seed broke the back of lack, just like he said, and I realized it. It wasn't the $1,000. It was a mentality to go with the $1,000. That $1,000 has turned into millions. Why? It's the power of a seed. A voice came to me and told me this. Everything in life starts with a seed. You couldn't be here without a seed. You think about that for a minute. What you want children? You can't have them without a seed. You want a new car? You got to put a down payment in it or finance it. You can't have that car without a seed. You want you a new house? The house people say you got to give us a certain amount down. We're not going to finance this house without a seed. You think about that. If you're a guy or if you're in a relationship, you're a woman and it's a baby involved, you can't have the baby without a seed. You think about that. See, I get so excited because now every time I want something supernatural to happen in my life, I go get me a seed. Every time I need something miraculous to happen in my life, I get me a seed. Anytime I need to encourage myself to believe I can make it and God's with me, I go back and remember the seed. I trace it. I trace the seed. I believe that you gonna sow a seed tonight of $1,000. And your $1,000 seed, you're gonna be able to trace it back to this moment because you're hearing a voice that's unlocking destiny for you. See, everything starts with a seed. The next thing I learned about a seed, I'm gonna sit down. I can't help it. The next thing that happened because of a seed is a seed not only produces after its own kind, but a seed multiplies after its own kind. What? If you give in faith, you don't determine, even the farmer has an idea of when it's going to be ripe. It's going to be ripe in spring. But he don't have the exact date. With all the technology we got right now, God determines the harvest. Even man right now, we cannot determine the actual moment that baby going to be ready to be born. God determines the seed, the harvest of the seed. What I want to ask you, what you willing to do or what you want? What are you willing to give? No. What are you willing to give? See, I learned this. When it's time to give and the portal is open, see, everything is about a moment. And when a moment passes, it's gone. It's like, don't take this. It's like making love. When you're really ready to make love, it happens in the moment. Think about it. Your body knows when you're ready. Your mind, your spirit, everything knows on its own because you put the seed out there. See, what I love about giving is I don't get to determine the harvest. Sometimes you put a seed in the ground and it grow 50 watermelons, and sometimes it grow 5. Isn't it amazing to know that whatever you put, though, it's always going to be multiplied? Let's talk about some challenges. Okay. What's some of the challenges that I've had with a seed? It's like what's going to happen to you after you sow this $1,000. It's hard today, but then it'll get easy. But what's really going to get tough is when it's time for you to give or sow from this. Because what's going to happen is this grows into this. And you're used to this, the little, but you're not used to the much. What's going to happen for you is this is going to be this. Your old high, what you used to think was great, you're going to wake up one morning and the seed going to have produced. I remember how the nature of a seed worked. One time, God, when he was teaching me about seeds, I like birds. I just like to, sometimes they calm me down. I like to get a bird feeder and put seeds in the bird feeder, and I watch the blue jays and the red jays and all these birds come, right? So God was teaching me about a seed. So I had to travel a lot, things were growing, and I didn't get a chance to fill up my bird house for a few weeks, and I got a little lazy. Now the birds was eating seeds, they eating the seeds, but some seeds was falling to the ground. Guess what? I looked outside one day. Right? I looked outside one day and it was a plant growing with a fruit on it from one of the seeds. The seed has its own nature. I'm going to jump. You're going to have to move the camera. You just got to move the camera. The seed, okay. The seed has its own nature. It want to grow. When you plant it and you put the seed in position, you can leave it because it want to grow. This is the thing. This is the caveat. Half of you might miss this, but one of you got it. You got it. The seed has its own nature. Man, when I learned that, it changed my life. That it helped me to realize that if I hold it in my hand and it's supposed to be a seed that's released, I not only limit its potential, but I kill it. Have you ever seen a seed get in too much water and it rot and die? Have you ever seen the seed be crushed and it's no good? And here's the last one. Have you ever seen a seed that has been eaten? Like corn. It come out the other side, not fully digested, but it's never produced a harvest. It never made more corn. When you put a seed in the right environment on accident, well, what if the person that I'm sowing it to, what if it don't matter. It ain't about them. There's a scripture that says, hold on, help me. It says something, not that I need a gift. It's not that he need a gift, but it was them given to Apostle Paul. And he said this, it's not that I need a gift. It was dealing with Paul. He says, it's not that you need the gift, but it's so grace abound on my account. The last part is you got to sow up. The reason why you've been giving to people that don't appreciate you, have you ever said this? And I can't fool you on here. I don't never try. So if you see me feel a little emotional because I'm hurt, I was hurt by this and I'm over it, but you gotta stay healed. And when I say this, it might trigger. It's people that I gave to that was beneath where I should have been given. And instead of them loving and giving me a harvest, they kicked me for it. It happened to you too? Don't it sometimes seem like the people you give the most to and love the most, the ones that do you the most dirt? That ain't true. It's not the ones you love the most. It's the ones that you give to that's beneath your station, that they can't give a harvest. They can't do anything. Let me prove it to you. It's like the person you love. They always mess their money up and God won't even bless them, but you try to. See, that's your fault. I did it too. You give up. You level up. When I say up, you give in a place where you know you're going to receive a harvest. Like what? Is what I'm saying helping? Are you feeling stronger? Do you feel like you can do this? If you do, you got to sow it now. I got to go, but I got to end with this. Here's the last thing I learned about money. This ain't just giving it, it's investing it. It's investing in real estate, stocks, and people getting passive income. Here's the last thing I learned. I learned that scared money don't win. I'm giving you the game. People who are afraid of money never get it. They never keep it. It always leaves them. What's being afraid of money? Not being willing to give. Your problem, here's a diagnosis. People that's afraid of money feel like what they got, all they gonna get. That's a lack of faith. That's an underestimation of your future. You're doing yourself dirty. You think that's all you're gonna get, so you hold it. That's your harvest. But when you release it, that's the seed. And the seed will always produce out its own kind. Let me tell you this, and I'm gone. This is the greatest season in the world. Do you see what's going on in the government? Do you see what they're doing in the economy? Are you looking around the world and seeing how money is changing from one hand to the next different? Don't you be afraid. This is the greatest opportunity for you yet, me and you. This is the opportunity zone. And the Spirit of the Lord hovered over the deep. What I'm saying, in these dark, dirty, scary places, these are the places of opportunity, not limitations. So you got to ask yourself, what is my inner landscape? Maybe you've heard me say this before. Is it a place of scarcity or abundance? I want you to move into abundance. Get your $1,000 seed, and I want you to sow it today. When you learn the principle, this is what I really wanted to say. You activate it now. That's what I learned about money. When you feel it, because every moment matters. When you feel it, when you feel that tug on you, and you want to be an early adopter and do it now, but you hesitate because you think about all the other things you need, I want you to remember the power of that seed. Everything you need is in the seed. Everything you need is locked in your ability to sow seed. I want you to get the $1,000 seed and sow it now. And I want you to say this: I give because I have. I have because I give, and therefore I'm always going to be blessed. Say it, we in this together. I'm the people's champ, the unlocker. I'm giving you this last critical key. I want you to say this with me. Say, I give because I have. And I have, that's it, because I give. And therefore, I'll always be blessed. God, I thank you for everybody who listened to the Unlocker Talks. We're doing it every Wednesday. Unlock somebody's faith. Cause somebody to want to know you and believe that you're a God that give us the power to get wealth. We thank you in advance for your resume working in our life. We thank you for manifestation on our finances. In Jesus' name, amen. My name is Anthony Murray, the one and only unlocker. I want you to do this for me. Would you? I'm asking you for this. Would you like, share, and click the link in my bio if you want to get information? I got a teaching that will help you if you want to start your own business. It's called Currency Unlocked. I put myself in Currency Unlocked. I took my experiences and I put it in Currency Unlocked because God spoke to me about you building wealth. People got to build wealth. Right now, what they're doing in our society and in our country, you need a side hustle. You can keep the great job, but you need passive income. In Currency Unlocked, I'm teaching you how to do something one time to make money a long time. I'm teaching you a mindset. Hey, I put the things in it that's made me be successful and put me in position to talk to you. Together, me and you, we can grow. My name is Anthony Murray. Let's come on up. You just got unlocked. Peace. I'll see you next Wednesday.